Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 10 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Well, we are not even to Thanksgiving yet, but a local nonprofit that helps thousands of local families in need is already collecting toys and donations. And now the Marine Corps' Toys for Tots program is getting a big boost from a Spokane brewery. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is live in the newsroom tonight with more on the fundraiser and how much it's needed. Kyle?
Well, just to give our viewers an idea of how great the need is, last year, Toys for Tots Spokane handed out 29,000 toys to 8,000 kids just here in Spokane. No Lie Brewery wants to make sure they have enough toys again this year.
All day long, people kept pouring in.
So we started at 12 today, had a line starting at 11:30, and it's kind of been just steady all day. It's been fantastic.
Pallets stacked high with cases of hard seltzer kept shrinking. No Lie employees were busy handing out cases of their Huckleberry Lemonade hard seltzer for $25 a pop. But the brewery isn't keeping any of that money.
There's obviously an immediate need for children needing toys.
Their goal is to raise $15,000 for Toys for Tots and $10,000 for Spokane Quarantine, a nonprofit which has helped keep restaurants open and stomachs full throughout the pandemic.
Well, any event for a great charity, Toys for Tots, something like that, will come anytime. It doesn't matter what the weather is.
Don Gardner and Forrest Nagel stopped by with their motorcycle club and had just enough room to bring home a case each.
No problem.
By 6 this evening, No Lie had sold 475 cases, raising $11,750.
We're going to try to raise another 10 tomorrow and hopefully 5 on Friday. Yeah, it's been awesome.
And the brewery will be selling those cases again tomorrow and Friday afternoon. No Lie is also throwing in a free pint glass and Gonzaga shirt to sweeten the deal. Mark?
Kyle, thank you very much. Looking ahead now, tomorrow is Veterans Day, a holiday to recognize and honor the people who have served our country. But before tomorrow, here's what you should know. Because Veterans Day is a federal holiday, the parking meters in downtown will be free. However, City Hall and other city facilities will be open as usual, they said. And in recognition of Veterans Day, we wanted to bring you more about the World War II hero for whom the VA hospital is named after. The Mann Grandstaff Veterans Affairs Hospital in town is named after Joe Mann. He was posthumously awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor for his actions on the battlefield. His legacy as a World War II hero stayed alive through his family, and his nephew has now turned those stories into a book.
He was a paratrooper for the 101st Airborne Division in World War II, and he parachuted into Holland on September 17th, 1944. And during 3 days of battle, he performed heroically. He destroyed an 88 millimeter gun, an ammunition dump. In an exposed position, he killed the enemy one by one until he was wounded 4 times. And after 3 days, he received 5 Purple Hearts, the Bronze Star, and the Medal of Honor for sacrificing his life when he jumped on a grenade to save the lives of his buddies.
So you can purchase Burns' book, A Greater Destiny, on Amazon or at joemanbook.com. And speaking of Veterans Day, we want to see the veterans you'll be honoring tomorrow. Text your pictures and a message to that number right there, 509-448-2000, and we'll feature them tomorrow during our broadcast. Thank you in advance for those pictures. Today, Ferris High School hosted a COVID-19 and flu vaccine clinic today for children 5 and older. It was so successful, a line was already out the door, but if you missed it, don't worry. There are several other pediatric clinics this week. Starting with next Thursday, there will be a clinic at Cheney High School from 4 to 6:30 in the evening. And then next Saturday, there'll be one at Shadle Park High School from 9 in the morning until noon. Appointments are required for both clinics. If you'd like more information about the clinics or where you can sign up to get your child vaccinated, just text the word vaccine to 509-448-2000 and we'll send that information directly to your phone. Meantime, state health officials are celebrating a new milestone. 10 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been given out so far in our state. We don't know exactly how many young children have gotten the first dose, but we do know 265,000 doses of Pfizer's pediatric vaccine have arrived, with more coming each week. The White House says 900,000 children ages 5 to 11 will have received their first dose by the end of the week. Dr. Scott Lindquist says we are on the cusp of squashing our 5th wave and reaching what he called community immunity. He also says breakthrough cases remain low.
That's really less than 1.5%. So these are still very small events in the big picture.
The Department of Health also says 675,000 people in Washington have received their booster. That's about a tenth of the population. Heads up travelers, the North Cascades Highway is officially closed now. The State Department of Transportation shut the highway down at 6 p.m. this evening. The reason? A high risk of avalanche. The highway already had a brief closure in the past week due to a mud and snow slide. The highway will be closed the rest of the winter. It usually reopens in May. On that note, let's talk weather here locally. It was a chilly start to the day. At least it cleared out and the sunshine was kind of nice. Let's get back to meteorologist Thomas Patrick. Thomas, on your way out the door before the broadcast, you said, I'm going to get ready to go out and freeze. And it looks like it's just 35 degrees out there right now.
Yeah, temperatures are quite cold, but the big difference, and honestly the savior for standing out here, is that the winds are calm. So your body heat actually warms the space around you, giving you a little bit of insulation. Did not feel that yesterday when we had those strong winds that were whipping around. But notice how our temperatures are free falling pretty quickly. Already 28 in Coeur d'Alene, 29 Deer Park, 30 in Sandpoint, so already below the freezing mark. And we're expecting just a little bit of moisture and precipitation to spit out to our side of the state by the time we get to tomorrow morning. Look at the rain once again over the Puget Sound, western Washington. A couple radar returns now through central Washington near the Moses Lake area. If that does arrive and our temperatures are still below freezing, might actually expect some light snow to try to mix in. Actually could be freezing rain, especially on parts of the eastern slopes of the Cascades near the Chelan area. But look at this, 36, finally got that snow icon on our future trackers 12-hour forecast here, but that's the light stuff. The heavy rain is on its way for this upcoming Friday. We'll show you how much rain to expect in your area.
Sounds good, Thomas. Thank you very much. We are tracking new information about last Friday's shooting near a Motel 6 in West Spokane that left an ATF agent and a suspect in the hospital. One of the other suspects in the case made his first court appearance in federal court today. KREM 2's Cody Proctor was there and found out what agents were investigating in the first place.
That's right, Mark. According to court documents, an undercover ATF agent was actually at the Motel 6 for a transaction with one of the suspects who ultimately ended up shot. Initially, after the shooting, law enforcement reported they were searching for two other suspects. Today, we learned from court documents that one of the suspects they were searching for was found not long after the shooting, while the other was booked yesterday into the Spokane County Jail. The suspect who appeared today in federal court, Vincent Petrushkin, was one of the suspects who left the scene. His appearance was for a criminal complaint for a felon in possession of a firearm. These court documents detail what happened before and after the shooting. Now, according to them, the undercover ATF agent planned to meet with Randy Holmes for a transaction last Friday at the Motel 6 on South Russell Street in West Spokane. Just after 4:30 p.m., the document states Spokane police responded for reports of gunshots. When officers arrived, they found Holmes with multiple gunshot wounds. He was taken to a hospital. The documents say the shooting happened near a gray Dodge Charger, which sped off and later was found at the nearby Hampton Inn. Documents say surveillance video showed two men leaving the Dodge Charger, including Petrushkin. Court documents say the FBI and a Spokane police detective interviewed him yesterday, who he reportedly admitted to being at the Motel 6 at the time of the shooting to buy a gun with Holmes and another man. He stated all three were initially going to be there for the transaction until Holmes decided to do it alone. Both Petrushkin and the other man took off when shots were fired. The Spokane County Jail roster shows Petrushkin was booked just after noon yesterday. His next court appearance takes place next Tuesday for his detention and preliminary hearings. In the newsroom, Cody Proctor, KREM 2 News.
Washington has a new Secretary of State. Governor Jay Inslee named State Senator Steve Hobbs as Kim Wyman's replacement. Hobbs is a Democrat from Snohomish County. Wyman was the only Republican elected to a statewide position in the state of Washington. She announced last month that she was leaving to oversee federal elections for the Biden administration. Her last day is November 19th. Hobbs will hold that position until the next general election, which is November 2022. And coming up, we'll have more about who Hobbs is and why it's monumental for Inslee to choose him for that position. Still ahead tonight, our Boomtown Week continues. Why lawmakers say the North-South Freeway could be finished in 10 years or less. And in national news, a little later on, Kyle Rittenhouse takes the stand in his own defense. We'll have more on what he said. We are back in just 90 seconds.